member of the Biden administration, and she said the fact that fertilizer in this country is 3 times as expensive as it was 1 year ago is a good thing, because we can go back to more traditional means like manure and piles of rotting garbage, to make. I mean, I get that they're very familiar with manure in Washington, D.C. I get that. But again, it shows the disconnect of what they have with the real world. Let me give you an example. A good friend of mine turns a couple thousand acres of corn not far from where I'm sitting. He said if the fertilizer does not come through, and we've got several problems here. Number one, the fertilizer cost has gone way up. Number two, Union Pacific has cut back 20% of the rail deliveries in the West starting last week, which means a lot of this fertilizer and stuff will not get delivered on time. So for a local farmer in southern Michigan, here's what it means. A field that would produce 200 bushels of corn per acre under average conditions will now produce 120 bushels of corn. You don't have to be a mathematician to understand that, although most Democrats can't do math at all, but at least you can understand that. The fact that you couple that with the price of diesel fuel is more than $2 a gallon more expensive today than it was a year ago, you get the opportunity to understand, okay, so the farmers here are also beholden to the banks. Many of the farmers don't get to plant their spring crop until they make a deal with the bank. What are you going to grow? Wheat, corn, beans? What's it going to be? You're going to raise cattle? How's that going to work? What's your answer to get those crops to market? How are you going to get the cows to be processed? All of these things. And the bank can say, we don't agree with that deal. And more farms in America have been going bankrupt for the last several years than in all of my life. More farms going bankrupt and getting gobbled up by big Chinese conglomerates, something else most people don't know. The largest meat processor in America is Smithfield, bought by the Chinese many years ago for several $1 billion. The Chinese Communist Party, with one of its front companies, bought Smithfield. There's only one American meat processing company of size left. It's Tyson Foods. That's it. And so you look at all these factors, and none of these clowns in Washington get this. There is a food crisis, a real shortage coming. And it's not just for Asia. It's not just for Africa because of the problems with Ukraine and Russia. It's going to be for ordinary Americans.